5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. In 2004 in America, every 15 seconds there's a family filing for bankruptcy. And in 2005, it was projected that 1.9 million people or families would file for bankruptcy. And also another 9 million would be qualified for credit counseling that would lower their interest rates and keep them from defaulting on their payments or filing bankruptcy. There was an apostle of the Lord, Elder Worthland, and he said that debt is a form of bondage. It's a financial termite. When you buy stuff on a credit card, it only gives you the illusion of prosperity. But in all reality, instead of us owning our property, our things in our property own us. So what is debt? Debt is something that is owed or an obligation to pay another. So if I lend you 50 cents, you're in debt to me 50 cents, therefore you have to return that. And a philosopher and also a poet once said that a man in debt is so far a slave. And why? Well, it limits our choices. When we're in debt, we can't spend our money how we freely want to. We have car payments, we have credit card payments, we have things that we need to pay off, and we won't be able to because the law that we abide by is obligating us to pay these debts off. I have an envelope here with a letter from a dear friend, and I'd like to read this account to you. It reads, approaching the age of retirement was all but exciting for us. From the outside you would think that we're just like any old couple, but that was far from the facts. We had a huge debt that included 6 credit card payments, 2 car loans, and a home mortgage. We have no cash in our savings and very little food stored away. Over the past decade, we used our home equity to pay our children's college educations, weddings, and missions, which increased our debt significantly. We are all but close to retiring. So maybe this was an extreme example, or maybe this example you may not think is true. But many people justify going into debt. There's many ways to justify it. One way is saying that this really is an extreme example. A slide I have here shows more of that. It says that America owed $2.2 trillion in credit card and car loan debt. That's $18,700 per household in the United States. And that's not even including your cell phone bills, your gas, your electricity, your satellite dish, and etc. That's just credit cards and car loans. But you might say, okay, well, you know what? I'll pay it off at the end of the month. Well, here's another slide that says, this quote from President Reuben Clark Jr. He said that interest never sleeps, nor sickens, nor dies. It never goes to the hospital. It works on Sundays and the holidays. It never takes a vacation. It never visits or travels. It takes no pleasure and is never laid off of work nor discharged from employment. It never goes on reduced hours. Once in debt, interest is your companion every minute of every day and every night. So you might just say, okay, well, I get paid on Friday. It's okay. We know the Worthland again says, far too often the money that is hoped for does not appear. Well, you can also say, okay, fine, you know, I really need this. I need to buy this now, and I need it. Well, many of you know Benjamin Franklin. He said, I'd rather go to bed supperless than to rise in debt. Many of you know our new prophet Thomas S. Monson. He said, avoid the philosophy and excuse that yesterday's luxuries have become today's necessities. They aren't necessities unless we ourselves choose to make them such. So, debt is something that we need to avoid. And there was a humorous writer who was called Josh Billings, and he said, debt is just like any other trap. It is easy to get into and hard enough to get out of. So how can we get out of debt? Going along with the advice by Elder Worthland, he says, pay your tithing. First and foremost, pay your tithing. Are we willing to do this? Are we willing to challenge God? We're not. Or are we? You know, He's given us many other ways. There's many ways that we can